What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The David Lopez Show, presented by Passion Park Entertainment. You already know what it is, what it do, what it is. I'm happy to be back with another episode. I hope you all had a splendid week. I hope you enjoyed wherever you're at, but in Chicago specifically, it was a pretty nice weather week. Now I'm recording this intro on Thursday, and actually it's been a little rainy the past 2 days, but you know it's okay. It gives me an excuse to stay inside because I've been trying to get outside and enjoy the sun. Now I got to stay inside and do some work and shit. Anyways, today's episode's a really fun one. I had a great talk with Tatiana Ortiz. She's an actress, model, and just all around awesome entertainer. And she's been on the episode or on the show before. She was on the live episode actually. But this is a more like, we talked for like over an hour, compared to the last one was like a 10-minute talk. So this is like a real in-depth conversation. A lot of like acting, if you're into the acting world or if you're an actor, or whatever, if you're just interested in that, we had a lot of, conversations just about that craft and stuff that goes into that and whatnot. So that was really good. That's gonna come up here pretty shortly. I'm not gonna have a real long intro here. I'm gonna try to keep it brief. But before we get into that, little housekeeping as usual. First off, I want to thank everybody who came out to the Battle of the Bands on Tuesday, June 11th at Elbow Room. That was a fun show. I'll talk about it a little bit after these next dates. Your next chance to see me live is July 5th at Uncommon Ground in Edgewater. I'm really excited for this show. I'll be opening for Tiny Shoulders as the headliner, and then Chad Price is the other act. It's a small, intimate room. It's like 40 to 50 people, I believe. The last time Tiny Shoulders performed at Uncommon Ground, they sold it out. So I'm hoping that we do the same this time. So if you're interested in seeing me live there, make sure you go get some tickets for that ASAP. It's like a restaurant too, so they have like tables and stuff. So like when you get your ticket, like you're gonna get a table probably, or however that works. But it's gonna be like an intimate, cool show. So I'm very excited for this one. So July 5th, the day after the holiday, it's a Friday, so should be a really fun one. So get your tickets for that, and can't wait for that. And if you are interested in supporting the David Lopez Show or Passion Park in general, there are plenty of ways to support us. First off, if you stream any of our music, buy any of my albums on iTunes before iTunes is blown up, because it's about to blow up. If you do any of that stuff, that is directly supporting us, and we appreciate that. But also, if you're interested in just doing some shopping for yourself and you need to get some stuff and you want to also find a way to maybe support us, that'd be awesome. There's a couple ways to do that. First off, we want to give a big shout out to Diamond CBD. They are America's #1 CBD company. They have edibles such as gummies, cake pops, honey sticks, oils, vape additives, creams, dabs, and entire line of pet CBD products, which is pretty fucking dope. So CBD is the thing right now. I mean, maybe not the thing, but it's one of the new really big crazes, I would say. And it's been an awesome like find. I don't know when this started coming into the limelight. It's definitely over the past couple of years. But there's a lot of medical uses to CBD, which is beautiful. I've heard some phenomenal stories about seizures and other things that have happened that have been helped by CBD. So that's a cool product line. They have some awesome stuff on there. They have Tommy Chong has a whole line of like gummies and CBD products on there. So if you want to get some of that feel good, positive energy without the fog that sometimes smoking too much weed or having THC can cause you, then CBD is it's a really good thing. I actually just saw CBD grass for the first time ever. My friend had a jar of it. And it looks like weed nugs, but it's CBD, so there's no THC. So you can still smoke it if you really like that process, but you don't want to get like baked, and you don't want to be foggy. You just want to have some of those good feels. CBD right there. So make sure you check out Diamond CBD. Go to passionparkent.com/diamond, and if you click the links there and order anything, you will be directly supporting us, as we do get a kickback from that. So appreciate that. Shout out to Diamond CBD. All right. Also, shout out to Splice. For all my music makers or filmmakers or anybody who just likes to create stuff, Splice is a cool site that has a library of samples that you can get on a rent-to-own basis. So pretty affordable. And you can use this stuff for anything, for a film project, for music, like whatever it is that you're trying to do, even like a little promo video, a slideshow you're putting together for a family party, some shit like that. These samples will come. Yeah, they're helpful. I mean, it's pretty dope. So you can get it as low as $5.99 a month. It's like you have like a membership then, and you can start using those samples and stuff. So shout out to Splice. It's a cool little option for music makers. I'm trying to get better at as I'm starting to produce a little bit more, and I still feel very amateur in that, but I'm starting to produce a little bit more. I'm definitely, I use samples and stuff like that in a lot of my stuff when I'm, it's easy to make around that, but I'm trying to create my own samples. But until I get to a point where I'm really comfortable with that, I like using samples, and having a library of like a vast amount of different samples is like awesome. And it's really helpful for a new producer who's not that musical yet. And I'm not that great at making my own melodies and shit. So it's pretty great. So I would say shout out to Splice. If you want to use them and support us while doing that, go to passionparkent.com/splice. And that would be helpful for us. So shout out to Splice. Appreciate you guys. And finally, I want to say shout out to Ticket Club, ticketclub.com, passionparkent.com/ticket club. Now, this is a membership site for tickets. You don't have to get a membership to buy a ticket on this site, but if you are a member, you waive all the like pesky little fees that normally you get from like, StubHub or other sites. Like Ticket Club, you can save like 10 to 30% off those pesky fees. So, I mean, you can look at all these ticket websites and the ticket prices. So go to a Cubs game on a Saturday or whatever, on a Wednesday or some shit, and it says like $20. It's not going to be that different from all these different sites. It's just the fees and everything that goes up, and everybody handles that differently. So Ticket Club, I think it's a cool option, especially if you like to go to a lot of events. Like you get a membership for this site, and then every time you want to get a ticket, you're just paying for the ticket price. You're not paying for that pesky bullshit. All those other little fees. You're like, this ticket was $12. Why am I paying $28? You're not doing that. So it's really useful for somebody who likes to go to a lot of events. They have everything on there. So sports, concerts, comedy, festivals. It's everything. It's a same as any of your other ticket websites, except for the membership part and the waiving the fees part. So shout out to Ticket Club. They've been super helpful, and we've been talking to them as we've been getting these ads launched on this show. So passionparkent.com/ticket club to check that out. All right. Well, those are the couple ads I had here. It's funny. Normally I turn the light on in this room for this intro. I didn't today. I feel like that's going into the rainy vibes. It's definitely dark in here. So I hope you're in tune with me for some scary stories. All right, that was weird. All right, none of that. So before I get into this awesome interview with Tatiana, I just want to briefly talk about Battle of the Bands, which was on Tuesday, June 11th. That was a fun show we had. I'm putting together the recap video. Also, go check out the recap video for the Bourbon on Division show, my album release party. I've gotten a couple pretty awesome comments on the from people specifically telling me they really liked the recap video and the way I cut it up and everything. So that's cool, because that's kind of like something that I directed, I mean, I had all the footage, and then you direct how you put it together. So those are kind of cool when they really come together. Anywho, the Battle of the Bands was an interesting show, man. So I haven't done a competition type show in years, long time, right? And I was like, whatever. Like I said before, I just want to get on stage as much as I can with this new body of workout. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do a 15-minute set, and it'll be exciting. But I thought that they were like super worried about time and staying on time within that 15 minutes, right? So I made a set. I don't normally do this, but I made a set that like mashed up and would finish at 15, and then so RPM, my DJ, and Joey, my guitar player, we could just work off of that, and then we would know when our time was done. Turns out they were not that strict on time, because other people were going over and doing other shit. So we had to alter the set a little bit as we were going, like make some pauses. I was talking to the crowd. It was I don't know. I felt like an odd pressure about the time, and I wish I didn't even think about it. So I'm mad at myself for that. But otherwise, I mean, the energy was great. The people that were there were great. I was the only hip hop act, so it was kind of weird because I don't know. Nobody was like really, really rocking out to my shit. They were just kind of like I mean, I got a lot of comments about like respect. You sounded good and shit, and our guitar was sounding good, but like I don't know. No, it was a weird vibe. It was a lot of rock and stuff, which I enjoyed, and I thought some of the other acts were great, but maybe wasn't the best mashup for me particularly. That stage at Elbow Room is so interesting because there's this big pole in the middle, so it's just like hard to work around. So I like jumped on this keg in front, and I was like doing some shit, and I dropped the fucking microphone. I think this is my first set. I'm almost positive this is my first show in, 7 years or whatever, that I dropped the mic on fucking stage. And actually I dropped it from the stage through like to the cracks, this little bottom part, because there was all these wires. There's all this shit on the stage. There's a lot of stages are, but this one was super whatever. And I'm like trying to lift the cord up for fuck with this, where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get really into that one. And I lift up and the mic just drops. Like, shit. Might include that in the recap video just as some funny outtakes kind of. But I was like, I was kind of self-conscious about that. If I'm being completely honest, the opening song, I got a feeling to open, which I've never opened with that, but I was like, fuck it, we'll do it. And I like that song. If you haven't heard it, it's the second to last song on my new album, So Much More Too, featuring Drumlord. Shout out to Drumlord. But I did a verse, and I did like kind of miss a couple bars in the verse. I picked it back up and caught where I needed to catch. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. The thing about that when that happens sometimes at shows is, do you acknowledge it or do you not? Because I mean the people in the crowd probably don't even know, I did choose to acknowledge it on this particular night. I don't know why. I didn't say like sorry. I don't apologize for that shit. But I said like, that was weird. I fucking forgot some words there. I don't know if anybody even noticed. So I don't know. It was weird. I felt okay about it. The funny thing is I didn't feel great about my performance. I felt okay about my performance. Every time you feel different. I did the best I could. Maybe I could have prepared more. But then I came off stage and I had a couple of people tell me that was great. And like my guitar player was like, yo, that was one of our best sets. And somebody else told me they loved my energy and stuff. It just goes to show in this shit, just do your best and control what you can control. And after that, you don't know. You don't know what people think, what's going on. It's so hard. Yeah, I try not to beat myself up for it, so, and then I hear people say it was like good. So I'm like, yeah, all right. I just do what I do and I do it to the best I can. And that's how that night goes, But that being said, I enjoyed it. The other acts were great. We did not finish top 3. You need to finish top 3 to move on. I was pretty surprised that we didn't finish top 3, if I'm being completely honest. I thought we would. We had fans there. I shout out to everybody who came out. Really appreciate that. I think part of the issue was that you were supposed to vote for your top 3. Well, first off, I thought it wasn't going to be all fan voting. I thought there was going to be some judge voting and shit, so I was looking forward to that. Nope. Apparently it was all fan voting. It's all good. I'm not even tripping about it. But we were supposed to vote for the top 3 in order for your votes to count. And I do think that some of my people might not have voted for all 3. That's not an excuse. I actually don't know. I mean, maybe we just lost hands down. Maybe nobody else had any votes for me because, like I said, I was the only rap act, so maybe they just weren't feeling it. It is what it is. I'm not tripping about it. I would have liked to win there because I was hoping to get booked on these festivals that, like, if you win that, you get booked on a couple fests that they got. So that was kind of the hope in that regard, but it's no biggie. It's no biggie, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to get on stage as much as I can. I'm trying to get So Much More Too out to the public, trying to get this word out, and yeah. So I just wanted to fill you guys in, let you guys know a little bit how that show went. Yeah. Sorry if you don't care. Well, you can fast forward to the interview. All right. Yeah. So like I said, our next show is coming up here July 5th. Working on some video stuff to drop, doing all that. But I'm going to stop talking now. So, probably because I got a burp. I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let you guys hear me and Tatiana talk about acting and the plights of acting and all that. Actually, sorry, before I get to the interview, I ran into Tatiana yesterday at an audition. We had an audition it was kind of an open audition for some stuff in Chicago. And I ran into her there and Kevin Smith, who's also been on this show. He's in So Much More. We ran into each other and we were all just hanging out as we were waiting to audition. So that was kind of a cool little actor powwow. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, without further ado, enjoy my conversation with the wonderful and talented Tatiana Ortiz. Oh, all right. Here, go. Do me a favor.
I'm down to half a drink.
That's all right. We got more booze. Could you say something in there? Just see if that...
Something in there.
Yeah, exactly what I wanted was something in there. Yeah, we're good, bro. We are live. All right. No, we're not really live, but we're live.
Right, thank God. We can edit.
Yeah, there's some editing here. Don't do too much. So Tatiana just got here, and the first thing she did was spill a drink in the office.
Oh my God, everywhere.
Right.
I spill drinks.
Cheers to that. It looks like you just drink really fast. That's what it looks like.
Right. Gee.
Well, thanks for coming over.
Thank you for having me.
This is our beautiful studio that's, to some people's surprise, is actually in my apartment. I don't rent any cool space.
I've never been in here. I've seen.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
viewers,
That's right. Well, we had. I'm sure if anybody has listened before, you were on for the live one, the one live episode we did. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. That's a different experience. That's why I wanted to have you in here because that's not like obviously that was just like almost like questions for show kind of like.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I thought we talked a little bit, but like.
Yeah, definitely.
And we both just were talking about how shitty traffic is at about 5 o'clock.
Oh my God, it's awful. It's infuriating.
It's pretty bad. Have you ever like lived in another big city besides Chicago?
No. No.
So I lived in Milwaukee for college, and that's not. I mean, I guess it's like a small big city. But like when they talk about rush hour there, they're like, "Oh, rush hour is the worst." It is nothing. It, like
that's like light traffic here.
No, seriously. At least that's what I always felt like in my experience. And then but then on the other spectrum, like I go to LA, I have friends in LA and shit. The worst.
Yeah, that's
like
that's what I hear too.
Wednesday at like noon, it's like a 5-lane like just like completely pile up. It's terrible.
I can't. I feel like I find myself fantasizing about Grand Theft Auto. Like, you know how you'd have to cheat?
Yeah,
you get the tank? Just like, if I could just blow all the cars in front of me up. It's
Remember when they were blaming GTA for like kids acting reckless? I could kind of see it.
I could definitely see. Me and my sister, when that like first came out, we played it a lot. And like I was like driving, and there would be times when I would just like it would be a red light, and I would just be like, well, I'm gonna go around. Like, you know, like that was like my first. Luckily, I have like a filter process with my actions.
Yeah, but what's cooler and not, I don't know, cooler, but what just is honest is, let's be completely honest, everybody's had those fucking thoughts. Like those like weird little thoughts that you can't even help. Like, all right, tell me you haven't gone to a train or like been waiting for the train and been like, yeah, what if somebody pushed that person? Or something like that.
It's like you're so, like, what if I just...
Yeah, what if I just step over? Or what I could get that Coke bottle right there and make it to the other side.
Back before the train came
exactly.
Up.
And I think those, like, I don't think that I meant to think that. Like,
right,
I don't think I want to kill that lady. I'm not sure.
That first initial thought.
Right.
It has to be a filter process, thankfully, for that.
Yeah, I mean... Right. I guess like serial killers just don't have that.
Right, that's
just
the thing.
Like,
yeah.
oh, what if I did that? All right, I'll do it.
Right, like fuck it.
Yeah, right.
Let's go with it.
Fucking shit. Damn, I just was about to say something else about this similar. Oh, okay. So I asked if you had ever lived in another big city. Oh, right. If you were to live in another big city, because you're from Chicago, correct? Mm-hmm. If you were to live in another big city in America, fuck it, anywhere. Where do you think you would move?
Fucking anywhere though.
I know. I mean, all right. Just say America to make it easier.
Right, in the United States. I don't. Well, I'd have to pick based on career. You know, like ambitious reasons.
Yeah,
so it'd probably be a city in California.
Yeah, somewhere out there.
Yeah, because I need the warmth.
Yeah.
Between like the two big markets that are the obvious pick, you know, New York
is the other one, right?
Yeah, but I feel like that's so much like Chicago. I feel like I could probably get.
I've never even been to New York.
Me neither. I haven't been to Los Angeles.
Oh really? Yeah, I want to go to New York, but I actually for some reason I thought you might say New York when I asked. I figured it would be one.
Yeah, one of the two.
Well, because you've done a lot of modeling work, so
right.
I feel like New York is kind of more the mecca for that.
Right. True. Yes. I am trying to transition just into primarily acting.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I definitely want to get into that, and that is a perfect segue into the LA thing.
Oh, yeah.
You almost just feel like I mean, there's a lot. I have this conversation all the time. There's a lot of work here in Chicago, but like in LA, it's different. It's just like everybody is doing
that's
that.
like
So I felt that need for a long time. So I feel you. Do you actually? Have you had any like pressure to yourself? Like, I want to move. I want to get out of Chicago or anything like that.
Kind of. Yeah. Just like to change the scenery.
Yeah.
Something different. The cold is killing me. It's just like it's never warm. It's June right now, and I still have like long sleeves. And
I don't know. Today was pretty nice.
Everyone says it's nice. I liked it. It was definitely nice, but like I'm ready for like the cold wind is what kills me. That changes the game. If it was just 70, perfect. perfect.
That's the thing about those other cities. I feel like they just don't have the breeze like we have.
Yeah, it's like, and it's strong. It's like, I like a light breeze, but ours get kind of obnoxious. Like, my hair's constantly flying around.
Well, I can imagine with, being an actress or model or anything with your hair in this city has got to be a fucking issue.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess being a woman in general, but I'm thinking like being on a set or trying to do something is like got to be impossible.
Right.
Like,
I just got headshots taken last week, and we did the first set outside, and it was like you have to hold your head perfect, because if you tilt it a little bit, the hair goes completely, and then it's like completely across my face, so you look weird. It just like looks weird.
I actually saw a funny Insta story you posted where it was like too humid out, so you put like all you can see is your face. All you can see is your face. You have like everything covered.
Yes, I try to avoid, because it's like now I brought my flat iron, because I was like, I feel like from the walk it was gonna frizz, and I'm like, if I'm on camera,
see, and you know what, you're funny. I know you already knew this, but you're like the only one who actually texted me was like, hey, we're doing video, right?
Like, I was like, because if we weren't,
right.
I would not.
Believe me, you know, I've been thinking in my head about that, because you know some podcasts do videos, some don't. I didn't want. Well, when I first started it, I wasn't gonna do a podcast. I was just gonna do like a YouTube like little talk show, and then it turned into a podcast, and then I was like, I just want to do audio. Yeah. But the problem is, some people I think actually do like to see the interview. Like, there's just like some people.
Yeah.
Like,
I do when I watch interviews.
You do?
And stuff. Yeah, there's just something. Yeah, I like Jimmy Kimmel. And all
yeah.
stuff. It's like that same type of.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel is interesting because those shows are like 7-minute interviews or whatever.
Yeah,
so like you have to pile in, and they're always fun. They're
like fun.
Do you listen to any like podcasts or anything like that? Or?
Not consistently enough. Like it's here and there.
Yeah.
Like my friends and stuff mostly.
Well, you did. You've done a couple podcasts. You've been on a couple podcasts, haven't you?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah. The Ill-Advised.
Ill-Advised guys?
Yeah, so my friend has one, Hearts Unleashed.
Hearts Unleashed?
Yeah.
I think I followed her right after you went on there.
Yeah. You know what? I think she kind of... I feel like I noticed that you guys had linked up. Well,
I try to...
connected on social media.
I try to stay in that loop because I'm not the best at like... I've never been like the best at like reaching out and like... I mean, I don't know. I reach out a little bit, but not to like that. But like, I want to... You know, like sometimes if you like somebody's thing or if you follow them, it's kind of like just saying like, hey, what's up?
Right. I feel like I've built a lot of networking, you know, relationships that way. Mm-hmm. Kind of like distantly social network, and then eventually.
Yeah, because I don't like that. I don't like the DM, like all blowing up people's DMs.
Like spamming and stuff, basically.
Yeah. I mean, like I said this last week when I was talking, but like it's not even to like, I guess that's almost like me saying I'm lazy, because like some people would say that's what work is. I just don't ever see it working. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's not necessarily ROI positive. Like, you know, it's I feel like it might take a little longer, but the whatever relationship comes, it kind of comes more authentically that way, instead of like forcing like, this is what I do, like pick me. Where you could just kind of be like, I've been watching you for a while. I feel like I've had a couple. There's a couple really good relationships that started off just with us kind of distantly following each other's career for a while.
Yeah.
But I think you get some more solid relationship. There's other places that you can work to build, you know. But yeah, they always say like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah. And so it's like the best way to solve that.
And that is totally a thing. Mm-hmm. That is.
Yeah. Most of my stuff has gotten from
who you know.
Yeah, like somebody put me on or connected me with
right.
something.
Yeah, I know, because it's almost like when you're younger, you're like trying to be like, no, I'm gonna do this on my own accord. I don't need all that. But it's like, no, dude, just take everybody. You know, take all of those.
Yeah, it's like all that.
Who did I hear? I was listening to an interview today. Oh, it was Will Ferrell. I was listening to him today, and he's hilarious, obviously. But he was talking about. I think he said he got advice from his dad because his dad was a musician. And it's funny advice because he doesn't think it sounds like that motivational, but it kind of in a way is. He was like, well, first he was like, obviously it takes a lot of luck. So even if you're really talented, like in this stuff, you know, it takes a lot of luck. So just, you know, enjoy what you're doing. And then he was like, give yourself the leeway to fail or to quit, like whatever you want to call it. Like don't put the pressure on you that like every gig is like the last thing or anything like that. Just be like, look, dude, there's a lot of luck that goes into shit. Anything can fucking happen, so just keep doing it. And that actually was motivational for him. Like some people would think that sounds like, are you saying you could just quit whenever?
Yeah, right.
But like it was motivational for him because it took off some of the pressure from it. And I think like, I don't know why I got to that thought from you saying like that you like from knowing people, but like those things all help. Like if you don't take it as serious, you know what I mean? Like to me, it's like when if you start taking things less serious, like, oh yeah, I know him, but I used it as an advice or whatever. Like it's fine, it's whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like so in line with how I heard a quote that like always once I heard it, I was like, that's just, it resonated so much. And it's luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Right.
So it's like if you're just always ready, you know, and you're treating every single, like for in our situation, like audition, every show, kind of like you're just ready for it without it having to be the end all be all. And when you just keep working every single one, and you're like, so for me, I'd have an audition or I'd submit for something, and I was submitting this. Like then as soon as I'd submit, I'd be like, okay, next thing. So by the time you're being rejected or whatever, you're not even, you're like almost forgot already about it. So it's like you just kind of keep going with that.
Yeah, I mean, being an actor or being an actress, being in this industry in general, is unnatural because nobody is supposed to hear that much regret anyway. Like nobody's supposed to hear that much not regret, rejection. Sorry, nobody's supposed to get that much rejection anyways. And like literally, the job is 95% rejection. Like that is just what it is. So that is definitely the approach. You have to just keep it. It's almost a coping mechanism too. It's like you just keep
just next one. So it looks, people are like, man, you're like, you stay working, and it's like, but you don't know how. That's like a third of the shit that I was trying to get. It just looks like, so like the more you shoot your shot, you know, like
for sure, and that is
like,
definitely, I feel like, the case in acting for sure. Like, I mean, so how long did it take you to develop that kind of mindset? Like when you first started auditioning for stuff, were rejections hurting more? Was how was that? Like,
man, I'm trying to think things.
Do you remember your first audition for something?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
What was it for?
It was for feature film. The lead.
What the fuck? That's your first audition? What is it? Like an indie feature?
Indie feature film. Well, I submitted for I was trying to model. I was just starting modeling. This is also like all kind of.
Yeah.
I always wanted, going into modeling, I wanted to build connections just in the entertainment industry with modeling, and then switch over to acting.
So you had this planned already? Like,
as soon as that was like the main reason that I started.
Had you started like acting classes or something like that? Like had you started like in your head just like working on it, or you just knew you wanted to act?
I knew I wanted to act. Yeah, I always know. Yeah. Once I decided to pursue it, it was through the avenue of modeling. So, but so I had been modeling. I think I had just had one. Just like paid a photographer to take the picture, so I had something to submit to other stuff with.
Essentially headshots.
Yeah, so I I had done maybe like a couple other shoots, really low, like just entry level modeling is what I like to call it. And I saw, since I was looking under movie stuff, so on that site, the director had posted stuff, and it was kind of like for extras. I think that's what I was under the impression, and I submitted for it. Because I was like, shit, I just wanted to like see what it was like to be on a movie set, because at this point I had no real experience.
And that's really important, just being on a set. Is just
really and just like learning what it was. And so I submitted, and the director hit me back, like, you have the look for and the vibe for the lead, so just like come in and read, and like we'll go from there. And so I was like, fuck it. Like I mean, it was super intimidating at that point. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
But he had you read, so you didn't have to like memorize. You just read.
No, he sent me.
Okay,
sides.
He sent you, so you had it. All right.
Yeah, he sent me sides to come in an audition, and it was in like Indianapolis. So I'm driving all the way up there. I have this like fucking 2-line resume, and I put like a student film I did for my friend.
Fuck it,
you know what I mean? Like I had nothing. I come from sports.
Right.
Yeah, so I just went and auditioned, and he had me read it in like different stuff. He like threw stuff at me, like read it like a stoner.
Yeah.
He likes to maybe switch it up and stuff. And I ended up getting the part.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just came down to opportunity. Like I happened to look. Like that's part of the thing with so much rejection in acting. Is so much has to do with just like your look. You can't control that.
No, you can't control. I mean, that's one of the first things my acting teacher taught me was like,
it's not over.
You can't be upset about. I mean, any audition, go and do your best and then leave, because look, they probably already know what they want.
As soon as you walk in the door, you know what I mean. You can do things to help.
You can blow somebody away.
Which I think I did, because I remember I ran into a girl that I feel like was auditioning for the same role.
Yeah. Probably.
In the elevator.
Oh, she looked exactly like this.
She looked similar. But she was dressed like in very like formal, like nice, very nice clothes, and the character that they sent was like kind of this athletic, which is another factor. Kind of just kind of like me anyway. For sure. She was like a more tomboyish rough. So I had like a cut off. I mean, it was a nicer shirt. It was like cut offs, whereas we're on like jean shorts. So that helps make you look like the part walking in. But so a lot of times when you walk through the door,
for sure. I mean, look, in the last teacher I had actually gave me like a lot of updates on like auditioning skills and stuff like that. So it's just like good to get a revamp on it. But anyways, yeah, one of the things they talk about is like, look, know the role you're auditioning for. Dress, accordingly. Like,
right,
don't
so look like it. So you convince them.
Exactly. Like, obviously, there's certain thing color wise, you're not supposed to do and like all that stuff. But like, find something similar. Don't be like, don't wear a fucking suit to a janitor's.
Right. Exactly. Because it's like it's not gonna be your.
No, and you're
gonna be less believable.
Really putting yourself at a hard disadvantage.
Right, and you get like what, a minute? This audition that's coming up.
Oh yeah, it's a minute monologue.
It's a minute, yeah. You get 1 minute, so it's like you come in already as convincing.
Well, those are. Have you? So you've obviously auditioned for a lot of stuff. Have you auditioned for anything where it's specifically just like do a random monologue? Like this is.
I just recently, which I think I'm going to use the same monologue.
Oh yeah, that's fine. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't. I just did recently for this agency. I just signed with an agent.
I think you said that. Yeah, you got an agent.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Like it's that. So yeah, I did just a monologue. I picked one from like a monologue.
Okay.
I can just work on it, kind of.
For sure. I just didn't know because like I mean, as you get into like commercial acting and like film acting, which we're both doing, like there really isn't many instances where somebody actually has you. At least in my experience over these past couple of years, has had me have a monologue ready. It's only happened a handful of times. Just like I have a monologue ready. Usually it's like sides and then you memorize the sides.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, but actually the one that has had this was Claire Simon, who's the casting agent. That one that I think they always do that, and then or they one time because like I think I mentioned I did audition for them one time before, but it was a video audition, which is always like. Those are always harder. Yeah. They're always harder because like I just feel like if I meet you in person, I have a better chance at like.
Right, like let me just talk to you for a second.
Yeah, but this is why like casting directors and like those kind of people sometimes can seem so quick and cold because they're like they almost don't want you to get over on them, like like
right, like just act. That's it.
I want you to exactly. I want to see your talent. I don't want you to like be a really nice dude and then all of a sudden I'm like I like him.
Right, I like this guy.
But that being said, I have also heard like some people you'll get cast just because they're like he might be fun on set.
Right, and like easy to directable, easy to work with, take criticism.
Well, like that short film. So I was in a what was the short film of yours, Doug?
Discernment.
The Discernment. Yes. So I do want to talk about that because I wanted to talk about like self-making stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But talking about being on that set, I remember talking to I can't remember his name right now, the DP, the camera guy.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah, Josh. I remember talking to him and just and then we were talking. We just had to work through like little things. Remember it was like something with the script that we had to change with like a phone call or something like that. Remember at the bar, we had to change something little, like just with the way it was shot.
Oh yeah, probably. I kind of remember. There's so many.
Right, but with those little, I guess my point to that is with those little things, it's like those little like just helping a cameraman with doing something, or like those are things I've kind of like picked up at just being on sets. It's like those kind of those might get you booked for another gig.
Right, like just having the knowledge. Like when I did that first film they were like, stand on your 2 please, and I was like,
yes,
I'm like, what is a 1? Like,
right.
Like, when did I miss 1? Like, or I still don't know. I'm not gonna.
I don't really know that shit.
One of the production camera guys was talking about my body mic, and he called it something else, and I don't know what he called it, but I was like, what? I said what like 3 times, and then he finally looked at me like kind of like. He's like, body mic? And I was like, oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. I don't know. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Like, smuffling.
But I was like, I don't know anything.
Right.
I did nothing.
But I think that can kind of be, that can be an advantage too, though. Like, because you're almost naive enough to be, like, you're just there. You're just doing what you're supposed to do.
Right,
you know
right, naturally.
There's
so much more to learn. Like, I can get so much better from here.
Right. And you're also not going to be, like, uppity about it. Like, if somebody, like...
Right. It's like some perspective
here.
Like, patience, because I remember.
Right.
I didn't know shit.
I actually think, like, look, so you being an athlete, me playing sports, and having regular jobs, I know you've had normal jobs too, I'm sure, like, I think those things are fucking huge, because you do see, like, some people who are actors or something like that who would be like, this is such hard work, and I'm like, this is not hard work.
I say that
What is hard about like? I mean, you gotta memorize shit. Like, all right, but like, this isn't hard work. It's a different.
Yes,
thing.
Even a job, right? Because it's almost like I only associate hard work with like physically.
Physically.
So like, I'll be at my job now, even or whatever. the day job, and people will be like, oh, you have a really good work ethic, and like you worked so hard on that, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, did I?
Like this counts too.
Yeah,
this
right.
does. That
No,
goes
it's
hard
totally
work?
true.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
This is why sports are important. I know we've had this conversation a lot, but because it is funny, because in high school or grade school, like you almost separate from like the artists, but it's like, man, they should all just be doing all of it. They should
Yeah,
like,
man, God, I know.
right? Like
sports is, oh my God, it's so beneficial.
there's crossover. I mean, actually, Will Ferrell from that interview I heard today, he was a really good athlete. I had no idea.
Was he really?
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that, right?
No.
But he talks about how like he liked the teamwork thing, and like that makes sense for SNL, and like all the comedies he does are like he's willing to work off people. Actually, an interesting thing he said was that in SNL, he told the writers, he was like, hey, if you need somebody to just like carry a pizza out or to do the smallest scene, let me do that too. So like, not only did he want to be the star, but he's also like, I'll take all the small roles.
Yeah.
Which is dope. Like, just get your face out there.
Right, and just like do shit. Plus, like, if that's what you want to do, that's the thing. Like, the reason I'm doing it, it's like, if you actually want to, like, when I was playing basketball and like playing professional basketball was like my dream.
Right.
That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to do it all the time. So like I didn't give a shit if I was like gonna play 30 seconds. Like I wanted to play that 30 seconds or whatever, you know. So I feel like if you're in that type of field for the right reasons, you are like, I will carry the fucking pizza out. Any opportunity that allows me to. Yeah,
no, I mean, that's the hope. That's the hope, is that you can keep that like genuine passion for your craft. I mean, I think people get jaded. You get jaded over time. Enough rejections. People get jaded all the time, like with this shit. But yeah, the goal. You just gotta keep it moving.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. So that first film you auditioned for that you got.
Oh. Right.
What was that movie? Is that?
That is still not out.
That's Quotidian? Is that Quotidian?
No, Quotidian is...
Okay, because I want to talk about that, because I know that's about to... that's coming soon here.
Yeah.
Okay. But what was this first one then?
So that's called White Trash Ninja.
White Trash Ninja. I love
yes.
it.
It's like a...
But have you seen any footage of it or anything like that?
No, he's like... Which is one thing I learned is like, they don't like to show you... what you're doing. They don't like to show you the footage as you're filming because, which I absolutely probably would have. Even not seeing it, I was like, wait, let me do it again. Or whatever. But I think they're just worried about like actors. But so he wouldn't show me anything. He would show me other scenes from like other people's
but not
stuff.
your scenes.
Yeah, and like not enough really to like get a full grasp of like that creative thing.
Well, that's the weird thing about acting. It's like hurry up and wait. You're just waiting.
Yeah, which is also true on the set. But
hurry up and wait.
But so it's not out yet. He's still editing and all that. But it's like an action comedy. I think of it as like a cult classic kind of thing.
Okay.
But
and you were a lead in this?
Yeah, I was like, one of. There's like 3 main characters in it.
That's fucking
There's
awesome,
like
though.
the White Trash Ninja, his sidekick, and then I'm like the girl.
That's fucking awesome though. Like
it was really fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's great.
And hell, because I was going through so much at the same time.
Oh really?
I had so much on my plate.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy to do it.
Well, and I'm sure you had a lot of lines. Like I'm sure you had a lot of lines to run for that.
Yeah,
so.
and I had to commute because I was filming in Indianapolis.
Oh really?
I was working full time in Chicago, buying my first property.
Shit.
Coaching the basketball teams at the school. So it's
That's a lot.
I worked Monday through Friday, and then like Friday night I would drive 4 hours to Indianapolis trying to like memorize the lines for the day, or whatever. Stay out there until Sunday, filming.
So you guys just like weekend shot pretty much for that?
My film. They filmed everything else they couldn't. I had to take a couple days off or like do a couple things like that, long weekends, but they were like long days, like sun up to sundown, trying to get everything.
That's so dope though. Like that experience is like unteachable, really. Like you can't really.
Yeah, I learned so much on that.
Yeah, that's great. And you were like, that's. I mean, for your first thing to book, it's also a good like.
It felt like really. It was like confirmation. Like, okay, this is something I could do.
Yeah. And then, so I remember actually, just to relate a little bit. I remember when I first started acting, I did actually get a couple of like the early things. It was like, oh shit, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be smooth. And then it was just like, not that much. I mean, you're still getting auditions after that, but then it was like you hit a little lull where it's like, oh, now I see this is not gonna be up.
It's
all
up
the
and
time.
down. Yeah, it's like a long.
Right.
That's why it's like constantly submit.
Yeah. So did you have like a was there any particular like thing that you don't have to like divulge too much if it was like on the project? Was there any particular like audition or thing that you didn't get that really was like shit? Like, oh fuck, is this gonna like how's this gonna be or anything like that?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Because this was like early on. This was like before I like figured it out. And it was like. I'm sure I can talk about this. It was like the H&M Balmain.
Oh yeah.
It was like this whole. I had the contract. I had no agent. This was like
Yeah.
I just got an agent, but like up until this point, I had done barely. I was like just getting into it still.
And you had the paperwork and shit.
Yeah, I remember like everything had the contract written out. It was like the biggest payday. I was going from like making. Basically doing trade shoots almost for free, if I, some of them actually were for free, these photo shoots, and then I had this one with like this contract, and it was like, it was like the shoot was in St. Thomas for the weekend. Oh shit. St. Thomas, I don't know why I whispered that. Yeah, for like for like a certain amount of time, and like there was a stipend, and there was like all this stuff. It was like all of a sudden. Yeah. And they were like, if you don't have any current representation.
You have to keep that young 20%.
Right, but they were like, they had one like that would, there was like a setup that would kind of do that for me. And so like that first phone call interview or whatever, they called and I got exposed as hell that I was like a rookie, and I feel like, really? Yeah, they like asked me some question about like my following, or like my... like my fans and like the people that I could reach out to and like what kind of and I had no I had no following, I had no fans.
Wait, so was this a modeling gig?
Yeah, it was like for H&M Balmain. Although I don't know how much this to talk about because I feel like that they got in trouble. I later found out they got in trouble that having to do with
using their
not hiring enough, not being diverse enough.
Oh really?
And and the models they were hiring. So I don't know, but I do not think that is the reason. Like before I get in trouble, because I was like super new, and I think you could tell with my answers.
Right? No, we're not making any accusations.
I'm not on H&M. I was not on H&M Balmain modeling level at that point.
Okay,
this was like 3 years ago.
See, that's interesting difference in modeling compared to like acting. I mean, I guess it does happen in Hollywood and shit. And I guess I guess it happened. I guess it does happen. Is your following social media wise, your fan base is even a factor in that? You know what I mean? Like that is like I know Kevin Hart made a big stink about it in his contracts. Like if they want him to post about it or whatever, like that is another charge essentially. Like his fans are gained on his own accord. And this job is separate. So if you want to use his fan base as his marketing, then that's like a different, like section.
Yeah, like plus he's putting his name on it. People are gonna
go
based off his advice.
So like that's interesting though, as a young model or like a newer model, that they're like, we need to make sure you have however many followers or whatever to make sure that
it's
when
like
you
worth it. Yeah.
Did the contract require you to have some posts?
No.
Yeah. See, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like they just. Maybe not specifically like having a following or like maybe not specifically like followers or anything like that as far as like me posting the stuff from there. But I think just having enough of a buzz around me that people are watching what I'm doing anyway, or what something like that. What kind of draw or like just what type of level people use that to kind of gauge.
Yeah, I get it. Modeling world is modeling. It's a sticky world.
Yes, like high fashion. World. I'm the shortest, fattest.
Oh my god!
That you can be in. I
ridiculous.
Just barely. When I started getting, they were like, you just barely make the requirements. All my measurements are like the biggest.
Ridiculous.
One
oh my god.
For high fashion. I mean, obviously, not to discourage. Yeah. Because like, there's a lot of other.
And so you
more lucrative.
I mean, I don't gather this from you, but I'll just ask because I want to know since you've been in modeling. Did you feel so? I mean, you just said it. I mean, look, you're tall and you're thin, and yet in this world, world like that. So did you yourself feel like wavering about yourself and your own confidence because of that shit? Like, because that's bullshit.
Like you could see how it.
I mean, you come off as confident, so I don't feel like that would have affected you that much. But I'm just curious because I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of women who are dealing with this.
Right, because then this is what like probably because I'm also an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so, like, you're already kind of
and you were a good
that
athlete,
arrogance.
so yeah.
You know,
exactly.
like, you get that, like, kind of, like,
right.
self-confidence built in. So, did we just hit the mark?
That's okay. We're going to talk through it, and then yes, we did hit the mark. All right, fuck it. I just want to finish this. Don't worry, we're still recording audio, though, so I just want to finish your answer here, though, because I want to at least end on a normal question here. What?
What did I say?
So like, did you felt like your athletic background and your confidence level from, being good at stuff in general, probably, there's built up confidence, didn't affect you that much, but did you see other girls who were, like, clearly thin and they're like, oh my God, I feel so fat, like, all the time? I feel like...
Yeah, or, yes, kind of. We talk about, like, dieting and things like that, or, like, just being, like, so overly concerned with, like, that type of... But also, more what I would run into, which gives you, like, a kind of a vibe, is, like, the photographers or, like, other people that I would work with, say I was around food, or, like, lunch was included or whatever, and I'd be like, like, they'd be like, oh, we're out to eat or whatever, and I'd be like, I'm gonna get, like, a burger and fries and stuff, and they'd be like, not as... You're like, man, like, most of them would be like, that's what's up, like, they'd be impressed. But, like, it's like, or, like, chicken wings or whatever. Like, I'm getting stuff, and they're like, you don't want, like, a silent water? Like, I'm gonna, like, beer and fucking chicken wings. I like that. I feel like... fan, like, and so, like, you can kind of get that vibe that it's...
I feel like it might be changing.
Maybe
it's changing a little bit. Maybe.
I think so. In this political climate.
Didn't Kate Upton have, like, those Hardee's commercials where she was, like, eating burgers?
Yeah, like, right. That's all the rage now. But at the same time, it shouldn't be, because now more than ever, I just started reading labels. A lot of people think I'm dieting because of weight. They're all like, what? Why? And I'm like, no. It's because of, like, if you read the labels, the shit that you eat. The food stuff
we can get into.
Is healthy.
We can get into food conversations. Maybe we will talk about food in a second, but we'll be right back after this commercial break, and we get drinks. Hey, everybody. Hope you're enjoying my conversation with Tatiana. I had a blast doing it. So we're going to get right back to that. But before I do, I just want to tell you guys about a cool company that is willing to help us out if you help us out. If you are looking to shop for, like, clothes, shoes, wallets, accessories, purses, I think they have bags, anything like that, you should check out Fab Hunt, okay? So go to passionparkent.com/fabhunt. They have a bunch of cool stuff. They have really good shoes. I've actually been shopping on the shoes site there. I mean, they have, like, your standard Adidas, New Balances, some Nikes and stuff like that. But they have these other brands because it's based overseas, actually. And they deliver to America. They do that. But they have some brands that, like, I just don't see here normally. And it's really cool. They have some awesome shoes. That I was about to order a group of shoes, probably like 5 pairs actually. I'm about to do that. So you should definitely check out their site if you're trying to see some new styles of shoes. You don't want your just regular Adidas or New Balances that you always get. Now you can get those from the site because they have them and they're dope. But they also have all these other cool shoe options and clothes options and stuff. So passionparkent.com/fabhunt. You should check them out. If you buy anything on there, you are directly supporting us as we get a little kickback from that. So shout out to Fab Hunt. We appreciate you. And shout out to you guys, all of you, for listening to this show. And also, big shout out to Tatiana for coming through. So let's get back to it. Enjoy the rest of our combo. So food.
Mm-hmm. And drink. Didn't spill this one, guys.
No, I'm proud of you.
That's right.
So proud of you.
Right. Although it's still early in it. Let me get it down a little bit.
So I also don't want to harp on this topic too much because I think this is another one that people get annoyed about. But you had mentioned the food situation right before, like the food label things.
Yes.
I actually went. I'm back on eating meat now. I'm back on eating like shit.
I just thought about going vegetarian.
I did for like 6 months, and I lost like. Obviously, I've never been like.
I can't lose any more weight.
Yeah, exactly. You're already thin as fuck, but like I never thought I was bigger. I was pretty thin, but I lost all of my muscle and just like got really thin. Not that I had a lot of muscle, but I lost it all just because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, you have to switch the protein. Yeah, I was not supplementing protein. I was eating pizza and fucking potatoes and cheese.
Pizza and potatoes.
Yeah, cheese and potatoes is basically it.
Well, I'm already trying to cut gluten, dairy, and soy.
Oh shit!
So it's like can't eat anything. Like,
so you gotta eat meat then.
Like carrots and peppers.
Yeah. Well, do you eat meat?
I was just trying to. This is the thing. I was just trying. I was like, I think I'm gonna like try to be like or just see what it's like vegetarian. I know like just healthy. Something in my gut was like health wise. Mm-hmm. But I mentioned this earlier, Puerto Rican upbringing. Like, Puerto Ricans, they are not about to let you sit up in there.
No.
And I went to a barbecue at my uncle's house, and I ate so much meat yesterday. So I was like, I'm can't say I'm practicing yet.
Yeah.
So starting tomorrow, I'm thinking about it because
But yours is more. It's somewhat.
Not
sounds like somewhat health, but it's more ethical.
No. Well, not that. That's
it's fine. Don't worry.
Some of the stuff they
don't give a shit.
Yeah, but some of the stuff is absolutely horrific
for
that
sure.
I hear about. It's not that I'm insensitive to that.
I don't think any people would disagree with that. By the way.
Right, it's absolutely horrifying.
Yeah.
We stuff you hear about, but it's less morally motivated and more health. Just like to have myself insides healthy, not weight.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's I think it's all about balance. I just think it's got
right.
And I totally feel you though about the because you said Puerto Rican. I have a Cuban upbringing, and my grandma. Me telling my grandma that I'm like, oh, I'm not eating meat now. She's like, okay, you want fish then?
Yeah, right.
No, you're not comprehending.
Right, like no.
Because every meal is rice plus meat.
Yeah,
whatever the meat is.
I had so much terrible stuff. So many different types of meat. And then it's like they're like, oh, you don't like it? You don't like it? I ate 3 plates. I just cannot fit anymore. But it's like you'll offend them if you don't have.
No, for
the
sure.
4th one.
Look, and it's all about perspective. Like I can acknowledge the fact that I had the privilege to go vegetarian. Like I like to even try that. I had the privilege to even try that. Like my grandma, whose mom had to steal chickens from their neighbor in Cuba to feed themselves.
Eat it. Yeah, right.
She doesn't. The concept of being vegan is like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, right.
Like, she's like, what are you talking about? So, it's all about perspective.
Yeah, but reading the labels, that alone, like, fuck. Maybe you're like, well, you don't care about like the crazy, skinning ducks while they're still alive, whatever stuff. But like, take a look, flip over the label on the stuff you're eating. At my work, I work with kids. They're like little. It's funny because I actually kind of have them now. Like they'll be like, "Read this."
Oh, really?
What are my ingredients?
Oh, really? Well,
I don't
that's
think
good
they
though.
realize. Yeah,
that's good. I mean, I'd be lying if I say I do, but like that's good.
Well, the problem with that is like they're 4. So like, do I lie to them or do I be like? They look, hand me this Lunchable where there's 4,000 ingredients and like 3,000 of them are like chemicals.
Yeah.
You're like not words that, like, do I say like, there's shit in your food? Like, nope, shitty lunch. Or do I be like, oh,
yeah,
so like now they're like, what's in this? And I'm like, I can't eat it, but whatever. Like, mom says it's fine.
I mean, you're right, but it's also like the other problem is, well, how do you feed this many people? We have too many people. There's so many people, so it's like, how do you feed this many people? So then naturally, unnatural shit comes into the food because of that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's all. I just feel like everything comes from everything.
So
it's like,
just like greedy in every sense of the
word.
Yeah. Like we need bigger food, like big, steroid size. Grapes. Why can't you just have regular grapes?
I just had this conversation with somebody. We don't even know when we're hungry. Like, we don't know what hunger. Like, I mean, I'm sure you know what like being hungry is like. You're fine, but like, people don't really know what hungry is. You just like eat. Like, it's
right. Like I feel like eating.
Like, I mean, look at like third world countries. Those people are still surviving. Like, how is that? Clearly, we don't need as much as we have.
Right. Like when you see those like National Geographic like videos on indigenous people or whatever. And it's like, you think like, man, that's no way to live. Like, they don't have a house. They don't have like food and chips and Doritos. And it's like, yeah, but that person's 139 years old.
Yeah.
He's chilling.
He's 400.
Right. Still building his own houses.
Like, and still having sex.
Yeah, right?
It's like somehow.
Making babies. He has 45 children
somehow.
and 37 grandkids.
They're like, you stop having kids at 40?
Right, it's a
What's
blessing.
that? What's that?
Right, like, that's a blessing. They figure something out.
Me and my girl the other day, or this is like a week ago or something, we looked up, I don't know why we were on a kick for this. It was like, we looked up the top 10, like, ancient towns that have been found. Mm-hmm. Fucking awesome. Like, there's some like cool shit. They found, it was like underneath a hill. They thought it was just a hill. And then like somehow something got broke or whatever, and it was like a pyramid. And underneath the pyramid, this is in the safari, I think in Chile. Mm-hmm. So in South America, whole fucking town in the safari underneath it. Like there was like whole like place.
Civilization.
Yeah. I know that's kind of off topic, but I just thought it was cool.
That's not really indigenous people.
Yeah, right.
Somebody just told me a story the other day. Are you kidding me? Somebody's calling me.
You're good. I got
telemarketer, probably, or like somebody that's like, you have a warrant, or you're like one of those
right.
scams.
No, I had a debt collector
I'm
call
gonna
me
go
the
back
other
to
day.
school.
But actually, I was glad I answered because I found out that somebody opened a fake credit card in my name. Son of a bitch. Yeah.
I should start picking that up.
Well, do you have Credit Karma? If you have that, you'll be good. You just look at that shit. But I didn't, so I didn't know. And then they called me and they were like, somebody opened this Capital One card or whatever, and I was like, I don't have Capital One or some shit. And then I was like, but they took care of it. So shout out to you guys.
Very good. Right now, like, joke's on you because I don't have that great credit. So like try to go ahead and try to open up a credit card.
It's funny. I feel like
it's not that bad.
I feel like that's probably why I'm not too worried about identity theft. Because I'm like, I mean, look, it's gonna, it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's like that game. Fraud person.
Right. You gonna risk jail on me? I don't got enough money for that.
That was a waste of a strike.
Totally true. Totally feel that way. But man, credit card fraud is so common now.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are making
not credit card, but debit. Somebody fucked you.
Yeah. Like people are like making livings on that shit. Like how the fuck? That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
I got us way off. We were talking about something.
Yeah, that's okay. That's pretty much the name of the show. The name of this show should be I Got Off Topic.
Right. Tangents.
I almost said the name of the show.
That should be this episode.
Tangents. I almost said the name of the show should be I Got Us Way Off, and then I was like, wait, I can't use that. He's like, that can't work. I can't do that. I asked you briefly when we were making a drink, but so since you played basketball your whole life, I did too. How was your relationship with basketball now that you're not playing regularly? I'm sure you still play some here and there, but like now that you're not, like, do you watch the NBA regularly? Because yes, my next question is gonna be about the finals, but
I watch it. I do. I watch it not nearly as like religiously / regularly as I used to. I coach.
Okay.
Less now. I'm trying to because it's like I can't be a responsible coach. Yeah. And
I mean, just being in this career, there's going to be certain things. I mean, if you have a certain role or something, there might be something. Wait, because you're coaching what, high school or?
No, I just was talking to somebody about potentially seeing about being high school level varsity head coach.
I mean, but they have to know your career and know that they have to be okay with anything, like any modeling pictures, any movies that you're in or something like that. Because you can't make your profile private.
I don't even know. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm right now in the middle of a huge. I mean, like I have the agent.
Yeah.
There's a couple of huge like moves. I'm moving around. I'm kind of going like nomad. I don't know where I'll be in like with the next like 2-3 months. Depending on what happens, I could be in a completely different like.
For sure.
And like I
that's this industry.
Yeah. This is the time where as soon as you start, people, mentors and stuff, they start telling you like you're not gonna be able to do this with one foot in the door. Like you gotta. So like I'm right on the cusp of like jumping in with both feet. And it's like I can't have anything tying me down. Just to one specific place. I don't know. Like things film. As it was, I had the first film was in Indianapolis. I had the commute.
This is the reason that most most actors are in the service industry or something like that. Because
yeah,
you just have to be able to like quit, or you have to have not
like
care.
An Uber driver, like something like that. That's gotta be a way of everybody.
No, for sure. That's a new job that is like definitely conducive to artists. Like you can do it when you want, and you can still make. You can pay your bills doing Lyft and Uber and shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. But did you have a bad breakup with basketball at all, or were you always like, I'm just done, and I'll just, now I'm on the more.
My bad breakup. I feel like we broke up twice. Like we broke up during my freshman year in college. I like I was gonna put the shoes up, retire them. Yeah, I was gonna. I didn't make the right choice for me in the college I was at. And I. Left and I was going to be just done and kind of... I think even then I was thinking about getting into...
Were you? Yeah.
Modeling and acting and stuff.
What's funny is when you look back at all the signs and all the even thoughts that you had that you can remember and be like, yeah, it makes sense now that I am where I am or whatever.
Yeah. I don't regret any of it. Like there's a lot of times when you look back, you're like, man, because like everything led up to here, and when you're so happy where you're at, it's like how can you?
Well, that's beautiful.
Any different thing, any misstep, how butterfly effect all that. Right. Anything different, and I'm not
butterfly
right
effect.
here. Yeah,
good
right.
Good
right.
Good call.
Good plug.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So yeah, I had a bad breakup then. But
did you not want to play at all? Did you like could you go shoot around, or were you like just like mad at basketball? You know what I mean?
I could probably playing shoot around, but I was just like, I just wanted to be a normal person.
Okay.
Basketball had been so
it was your
intense.
life.
And I had got high profile right from early on.
Oh, yeah.
The whole scandal.
Oh.
When I was like 9 or 10. So I was like on the news already as a girl. Very good at basketball.
You work for the Demons?
Yeah, the Demons. Yes, Skeet got Michael Horton.
Yeah.
He has a whole... Hoops Till Hurts is like bougie. They on now. Where did the Skeet?
We
should watch this.
It's fine. Yeah.
But he got suspended for playing me. We made it to the national tournament. At this point, I was the only girl. I was playing just with boys.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, and I'll just mention, I used to play against her in
Hoopa.
grade school, and she used to fucking ball it out against all of us dudes.
We
played
came across each other too in college. I was like, whoa, David.
Wait, we did, right? Yeah.
Wait, but why though? Because where I was at that game. Oh, I was watching. I think.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes, my friend was.
That is so
playing, and I was
random.
like, holy shit, David. Yeah.
That's so random. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
No, but I always remember you though as like the best women basketball player I ever played against. I mean, I was young, but like I played against you when I was young, and I always remember that. And I kind of followed your career as you went to Vaughn and stuff, and I was like, it's just so funny. But continue with the
right. So we made it. I'm playing on the all boys team, I'm the only girl, and we make it to nationals for the AAU tournament.
Okay, so Florida,
big time. Yep.
Yeah.
Is it always
Wide World of Disney?
Is it always in Florida? Because I feel like ever since then we never.
It was always at
the
Disney,
national
the
park.
Disney Wide World of Sports, I think, but I don't know if they changed that. But it used to always be.
But
there.
it was in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go to Florida and we're all like in there, and it's understood that at that time it was like strictly like boys play with boys, girls play with girls. So like I wasn't allowed to play.
Oh, okay.
So I was the only one on the team. So like I got, which is people got that now. This would never fly, but like I could get like the passes. So like I could come and I could sit on the bench, but I couldn't wear the uniform. I couldn't. Okay. They didn't like acknowledge me. They weren't even acknowledging me as an athlete. I almost had trouble getting the passes to get on the court, like
really?
Even as a player.
Wow.
Yeah. But so like I'm sitting on the bench the whole time, and obviously like we were good and stuff, but we're like this like team out of Cabrini Green and like like this like so. We're in the big there's like national tournaments. Right. So, like we're losing or whatever, and it's like. We're in the losers bracket at this point, down the tournament, and one of the refs, I guess while I was warming up, they had asked if I could warm up in the uniform just so they could take pictures and like get, just like she has a memory of being down there. So we had a great time. And the ref goes up to the coach, my Skeet, and he's like, why isn't number 12 on your roster? That was the number I was wearing at the time. And he's like, that's a girl. Like, I can't. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know if she's a boy or a girl. Like, he like kind of implies, let her play. And waited till we're already down. We're losing the game or whatever. And he's like lets me get in the game. I play like a little bit. You know what I'm doing? And they, I want to say disqualified us, but I'm not positive. I do know that they suspended him for 3 years of coaching in the team, so like we couldn't participate.
That seems excessive though.
Which was part of the reason why the story blew up. So somebody in Chicago, a local newspaper, ran it for I think the Times. I think was the first that like just ran the story kind of, or like wrote the story, interviewed us, and we're thinking like whatever. It's just like a story to go on the thing, because at this time it was not this common for girls. This is back. I'm 9, so this is what the 90s, in the 90s.
Yeah.
So and he runs the story and ends up on the front page of the like Times or whatever. Yeah, and we're like, what the hell? Crazy. Yeah, it was like they ran it on the front, and then man, everyone picked it up. I get home from school that day and there's news reporters waiting, like on my.
What?
Thing just the interview, so like blows up. It's covered by the news and like Telemundo. Telemundo. We didn't speak Spanish, but my last name was Ortiz. Yeah. So and it blew up for it was like a legit story. But then there was all this spotlight on the team itself, on the Demons, which was basically like all this boys, and then there's a girl playing, and she's like good enough to play, So like there was always that.
Right.
Obviously she's gonna play basketball. Obviously she's gonna play basketball. So like. That was always just... It
just felt like that's what it is.
Yeah, so like I didn't have...
It's a part of your upbringing.
So I didn't have like that capacity to even think about acting beyond just playing around with like my friends.
I mean, you only have enough room in your brain at that age for like one intense hobby anyways.
And the way that my brain works, like when I love something, it's
you're
like...
in.
I'm consumed. So like I don't want to do shit. Like my main bay is
I feel
one bay at a time.
I definitely... It's hard to even explain to people... I mean, look... I feel I didn't have anything high profile like that, but what I'm saying is similar to a lot of guys and girls who end up going to play a sport in college, is like, yeah, no, pretty much every day growing up was like, all right, what are we gonna play today? What are we gonna do? You know,
right, like around
just,
hooping.
It's not even, and it's not even. It's just part of your life. It's just like, yeah,
right.
so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and like that kind of dedication is so rare as you get older. Like,
yeah,
you're not dedicated to anything
that's what I noticed too. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, like it's so.
But you don't have, the stresses as you're young. You don't have the
right. You can
you don't have all this other
dedicate everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I've had this conversation many times, but that's why, especially, I feel like in music and film and stuff like that, if you find a way in young. And start young and just are in the routine of it young, so you're not even worried about bills and regular life shit, you're at an advantage because you just are used to the rhythm of it.
You're right.
Yeah,
just in the same way. Yeah, like the path was so clearly to basketball. Like, and I'm like, that's what first going into this, I'm like, I'm going up against, when I was plotting out this whole plan with modeling and acting, I'm like, I'm going up against people who had the same type of upbringing I have with basketball. Like when you came up with somebody like, oh, you started playing basketball in 8th grade? Bruh, back up.
Yeah, a little late to the party.
Yeah,
and then
like
I've been doing this. But then you see like Joel Embiid and Giannis, and like they started when they were like 12 or 14.
Right. So it's like in that, but they probably have to
you double it up.
Yeah. And so like I knew going into that, like I'm going up to people who like went to art school or had like, just we're in a commercial
doing, when they were 4 years old.
Yeah, or like we're taking classes and like around theater and the arts at the time when I was doing like dribbling or through cones, so it's like the same mindset. So you gotta have like your own edge.
Yeah. Have you auditioned for any basketball roles? I feel like you could totally. I mean, obviously you could because you have that. I haven't either, but I'm thinking in my head. I'm like that'd be the perfect role for you, like something. No, for sure. It's on.
Hopefully, yeah, right.
Yeah,
like
it's on mine too. It should be on everybody's who's played any sport. But
right, like loving basketball too.
Yeah. I think it was just like the anniversary of that movie recently. Love and Basketball. Yeah. Well, so that's a good transition then to get back into the film stuff a little bit. We got a little time on there. All right. So first off, I want to say Quotidian is a film that you are a co-lead in, right? Am I saying that name right?
Quotidian. Yeah.
So you are like the co-star in that movie, correct?
Yeah, I guess. Technically, I'm like
you're on the cover.
The lead, yeah, right. So I guess yeah. The lead character's girl.
Okay. But so that's exciting because I'm seeing a bunch of stuff on. We're not saying you're on a press junket, but if there's something to promote, that would probably be it for right now, right?
Yes.
Because that's coming up here, right? So
There's
where's that in the
coming
process?
Up.
What's going on?
Come to it. There's a fundraising party coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, on the 22nd.
Okay.
Saturday.
I will have to put that down on my.
Put it.
June 22nd. It's a Saturday. Ooh, my friend's having a housewarming party. Stop there first. We'll talk. Okay. So what's going on with that film? Like what? I know the trailer is out.
Right. The trailer. Right now we're kind of doing a fundraising circuit just to kind of get it produced at the quality level that we would like to be. So it's like, we're doing.
Is it made?
Fundraising. No.
Oh,
we're still in the process of filming. It's not like getting ready to release.
Okay, see, I guess I was under the impression that you guys were like fundraising to release.
Oh yeah, no. Well, and a lot of people are like, oh, is it out? And it's like, I know that's misleading because the trailer's out. Yeah. So like, we're using the trailer for right now for like.
Yeah, promotional. Yeah. No, people do that. You make a trailer to get funders.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's
indie film.
It's
indie film stuff.
They do that in Entourage. Did you ever watch Entourage?
Not consistently enough to be like, I watch Entourage.
Yeah, so I can't tell you a storyline that you'll be like, oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. I know.
No, well, I mean, shit. When you were in the short film that I did, I had the trailer ready. I just had a bullshit trailer that I wanted to get out 6 months before I
just kind of build buzz.
Yeah. And so transitioning into, so you were in a part of that film. That's like an indie project, right?
Yeah, indie feature film.
And you auditioned for that and got that role?
Yes, that was I know somebody on the production team, and he read the script and thought of me when he saw the character, and so he's like, oh, you should audition her, and then that's what got me the audition.
Well, once again, it's who you know.
Right, who you know, yeah.
So you've done a bunch of this stuff where you audition, you get that job, and you're working on other people's, and you're working on other people's projects. But now there was this film that I did a small guest spot in or whatever, and this was your own project. This was a project that you self-made, correct?
Yes, the Nightmare.
Let's talk about that nightmare because I'm with you on every step of this. Self-making stuff is crazy, but I think it's really important. So what happened with it? So how did this project come about? First off, was it an idea that you then wanted to write the script, or what happened here?
Yeah, I feel like I get in probably when I was under the influence of some sort of,
That's all right.
And just the concept of the story came to my brain, but it was like right at the perfect time where I was thinking of trying to submit to agents and get representation, and I'm like, you need like, especially with I don't have that much experience, or more importantly, training. Right. I feel like that I don't have on my resume. I had some experience, but no training. So I needed like, it was my examples. I'm like, and I didn't have enough. The film I had been in wasn't out yet, etc. So I didn't have any like
a real.
Yeah. And so I was like, fuck it. Like I feel, and at this point I had built up connections with a videographer, with Josh, and like, so I was like, I think I have the connections that I need to like just do it myself, just like write a short, and just like, then I can make it and then have real footage that I could submit, like that. So that was kind of how the project itself was born. But the idea, I feel like, was just, relationships, how that should be, personal experience.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think, especially when you're young as a writer, and as somebody, a creator in general, you definitely, you usually get your stories from like life experience. It's just like,
experience,
like,
observations.
I feel like it's very rare that somebody's first project is some like out there piece that has nothing to do with reality.
Right, or like their reality, more importantly, like, unless you're like schizophrenic or like,
right,
or like some sort of that you can like,
you can like
get out
some
of psychotic.
I feel like it's rare because I know that
crazy.
I know that like after, so Director Raza, for instance, to talk shit about myself a little bit, like it's funny, like after you make it, you're like, all right, I'm trying this piece, and then after you look at it, I was talking to my brother, and I was like, look, I just wanted to make something, and I'm happy I made it. At this early point, you're somewhat happy with finishing things because you're still trying to do things. And then I'm like, I'm able to now watch that and be like, oh, an artist who doesn't like his job, who wants to just be making money off his music.
Right, it's like your life.
Yeah, it's like, right, I'm like, oh, real creative, David, real creative.
Right, like you start outside.
But you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
You gotta do those things, and then you can branch out.
Right, and I think it starts with you, but I think eventually you're able to observe how something's affecting, and you could come up with a story that didn't necessarily happen to you, but it's some stuff that you have insight on, for whatever reason. But usually you're gonna write the best stuff about stuff you like know for sure.
Yeah, I totally feel you. So wait, sorry, remind everybody the name of your film that you made.
Oh, Discernment.
Discernment. Now, but is it out, or no? You just submitted it for stuff.
Yeah,
it's a long process.
Festival. Yeah, there's so many, and some of them are like, it has to be worldwide status.
Yeah,
like worldwide premiere. So like,
and some of them don't even want them to be out at all.
Right. Yeah. Like it's just exclusive if you get accepted. So I have to like wait to be rejected.
Yeah, before you can release it. Yeah. That's actually what with Direct Deposit. I definitely waited a little bit longer to release it because I was waiting for a couple rejections or approvals either way. Mm-hmm. And then sooner or later it just gets to the point. It's like those aren't. Like those were really important to me at first. Like I remember being upset when I didn't get in this one festival, and I was like, those don't really change the game. I do think that some people, their opinion on things generally has to do with the merit of what other people might think about it. So like that little laurel that says like you were selected for this film festival, like we'll get a couple other people to watch it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do feel like that is
give
the
it
case.
A chance. Yeah.
So I guess that's why movies take so long to come out.
Yeah, right. Everybody's trying. Yeah.
Right.
Probably the stuff, but.
Did you find that more fulfilling, less fulfilling, just different fulfilling, doing your own project and finishing it?
It was. I was really happy to be done with it. I mean, like I think I would really like directing. I think I have I like vision and stuff that. I think that would be good, and I love obviously like acting, but I do not want to do them both at the same time ever again. And writing, I'm not that's not the strongest.
You wrote the script though?
Yeah.
Did you like writing it?
No, I like. Here's the thing. I'm a good writer. I've always been a good writer with like book type thing. Like creative writing. Screenplay is a whole different ballgame, and I'm like why would I be? I haven't done it. Like I just did. So I knew what I wanted to say, but I did not
One of my favorite classes I took was a screenwriting class, actually. And not to say that I'm like a great screenwriter, but it was just a fun class because you're around these people who are just like throwing out ideas.
Yeah.
The directing acting thing is something that
it's so hard.
It's crazy because I from directing so much more that web series. That was the first thing I directed. I loved the experience of like, it was such a different experience seeing it come like paper to life in that way. I thought it was so different. But then acting in it was really hard.
Yeah.
Like to do both. And I was talking to my friend Mark, shout out to Mark, who has directed some of my music videos and stuff, and he's in LA and he does films. And he's done a feature film where he was in it and directed it. Mm-hmm. The biggest advice he gave to me, because he was talking about how hard that is
hard.
Have somebody on set who knows what you like when you're acting well, like when you're doing good, like who knows you as an actor and can completely almost direct you, like almost have a second director for you.
Mm-hmm. Right, like how does it, and like they have to like know what you're going for in each scene anyway. Yeah, like oh my god, and then like trying to like be in charge of everything that you need for per scene props.
Oh yeah,
I kept being like, we needed popsicles. I'm like, shit, they're in the. We're at the location that we're shooting in. I'm like, oh, the popsicles are in my freezer.
You are so right. You're reminding me of things like on Direct Deposit, we had to find a prop for the fucking suitcase or some shit.
Yeah, because I'm like, I didn't even think of that because I'm trying to memorize my lines. Or like, I don't know what I'm saying. I messed up. Remember the time I was like, I can't remember the lines because I was trying to make sure we had everything we needed.
Yeah.
Just for the whole scene.
Yeah, it's but that's why indie projects are, but I'm sure you learned a lot just from that shit, and then you go to somebody else's project and you're like, oh, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm.
It's important stuff. Well, I love that you're still, doing that. Do you wanna, you think, create any of your own, like, any more, like, of your own projects like that, you think?
I would love to do that type of thing, like, direct. It's just hard because the writing part. I'd want to direct something just with better writing than I came up with.
Yeah.
So like either I gotta get better at writing, or I need somebody that could sell me a script.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'd be like, yeah, I would love to do stuff like that. One thing at a time. I'd also like to dabble in like music production. There's so much stuff.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, right.
I have to tell myself that all the time because my brain jumps around everywhere.
Right. People are like, you're doing big things, and I'm like, I'm at like 20% of what's going on in my brain right now. You don't even know.
I think not everybody, but a lot of people who are in our field who are even driven to do what we do, there's a weirdness to be driven to doing what we're doing anyways. This is not like not everybody wants to do this.
Right.
So just even the people that are willing to do this, I think there's already probably a weirdness to the way you think and the way your brain operates anyways. Mm-hmm. It's just like jumping around in general.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up here pretty soon here. Did you feel okay about that? As was everything?
Yeah, I think it was great.
Okay.
We could just talk all day.
I know that was the thing I was saying too. Is like I because there is other stuff. I mean, I wasn't gonna completely end right now, but like there was other stuff I was gonna say. Just like no, we'll get you back on because like sometimes you talk about like sometimes we'll talk about like just like how you grew up and like going into all that stuff, but like. We talked about all that shit pretty much.
Right. Yeah. Well, that was a lot.
Basketball playing and we got pretty TMZ stories from the Demons.
Right. Exactly.
You played with so many people that I know.
That's like weird.
Right.
That's
well, I mean, Danny and Paul, the Miles Bros. You played with those guys, and then I mean everybody on the Demons.
I feel like
everybody on the Demons. Those are all like I'm not everybody, but I know a lot of those guys.
Right, and like I feel like you get to a certain like level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like you start to run in the same circle. Much like here.
Yeah.
Much like in the
yeah.
Like the harder you work and the longer you're at it, the like-minded, you start seeing them at the same. You know, like I start seeing the same audition. Like, oh, okay, you're for real.
For sure.
You know.
What I'm really seeing is the longer you're at it. Like especially
fall off, you just gotta wait till the weeds. You know, or like the people that are like kind of not really about it.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Like, that is totally, especially my field in rap, in music, like, with me being, like, I mean, I used to run a showcase for a year, and then, like, just doing that stuff, like, I'm still around making music. I'm not saying I'm, popping or doing anything like that, but it's, like, I've seen plenty of people start and stop, like, like, you see it, and you're like, well.
Everybody always, or, like, successful people always say, like, the difference between, like, failure and success is, like, or people don't, like, fail, they just quit or whatever, like, and you notice that, like, where you at? There's some people where I'm like, literally, I'm like, we started off and I'm like, man, we're both hitting it, we're both grinding, like, in our respective things, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, where are you at? Like, it doesn't take.
It's life. It's life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
people
things.
have impatient expectations.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like it takes nobody. How fucking rare. Even the overnight things. Yeah, like if me and you hit something. Yeah, like right? Like if me and you even like if you went back just the first person that like, or the first movie, like I'll use Jennifer Lawrence right now because I heard her, but like that first, but she's also a really great example, like kind of. Right. Well, yeah, because let her tell it. She started acting when she was like teen.
Oh yeah, she's
you know what I mean? Like she been, but
but
she popped up on my personal radar. That's the only reason I use the story. But like on my radar and like Hunger Games. You know what I mean? That was like the thing.
I think a lot of people's radar.
Right, exactly. But that's when she like blew up.
Right.
So like you would think like that seems like that's her first rip. But like she had been on, she was talking about, if you look at her interviews and stuff, like she did something on like My Sweet 16. She did like a promo ad. You know what I mean? Like she's been
around
doing shit stuff, or like not shit. You know,
for sure.
But just like that entry level stuff. So like even the ones that seem like it's like they came from. Yeah. Nobody who's a rookie is really a rookie at that level.
For sure. I mean, it's rare. It's rare that it happens that way. You know, honestly, I think patience, especially. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a good.
You know, like and patience. Like you just have to.
Yeah. Movies, it's so rare. It has happened a couple times where it's like this is this person's first movie, but it's usually
like a chick from Hairspray.
It's usually a kid actor though. Like I feel like those situations are usually like they found this kid who's pretty good and they want him to fit this role or whatever. That
like look like the Jungle Book.
Yeah, that kid that
plays Mowgli.
It's great.
Yeah, my mom was like, I watched an interview with him on probably Jimmy Kimmel, one of our late night shows or whatever. But she's like she's like his interview. He's like just him already.
Yeah, he's
already the kid.
It's not really
it's not even. Yeah,
that kid probably
like
won't.
You say how you would say this line if you were talking to a lion. Right. Go.
That kid probably won't even become an actor. He's just doing that.
There's some
That's
of them
fine.
that don't.
No,
really,
there's a
lot.
like
he's a lawyer now.
Exactly. There is. I just heard about that. Somebody else who's
got a payday though.
Oh, yeah. And it's a residuals.
Right, like that's why he's a lawyer, because his college was paid for him.
Right. It's super rare. You know, it does happen in music, but rarely as well. But you know, like Trinidad James, All Gold and Everything.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
You know, that was like his third song.
Right. But then like you got to look at it like if you really like their career, like think about longevity. Where is he at?
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like if you want the quick pop.
Fetty Wap, Trap Queen, I think he said it was the fourth song he ever made. Yeah,
right, it happens.
So it happens, but it's crazy.
Right.
Like, it's insane. Because he said that he found that voice. He was just rapping normal, and then he found baby.
Right. Come up with a niche. It happens.
Oh, for sure.
But it's just like, of all how many people are in the world? And we've listed how many?
Right.
2, 3 that like.
No,
like,
it's,
you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're a gambling, play the odds here.
Right. No, for sure.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Hold on 1 second. I don't want this computer to die.
Sorry, I'm rambling.
Keep rambling. We're going to do a couple final questions to wrap up here. Cool?
Perfect.
Cool. And then I'm going to fucking watch this Warriors.
Right. Game time.
All right. So this is actually a part of the final wrap-up questions here is, do you have a prediction for tonight's game and for the rest of the finals? If there is a rest of the finals, if tonight's game doesn't go a certain way.
Oh, prediction.
KD's playing.
Right.
Oh. What strength is he at? I don't know.
Right, that's the game.
Full disclosure, I picked Warriors over Bucks in 6 before the playoffs started, so obviously I'm a little off already anyways. So.
I've been more distracted by Drake.
Drizzy. Yeah, he's the new Spike Lee.
Right, like crazy in there.
He gave me.
Like, that was the first thing that threw him in. I'm like, okay, I wasn't saying shit until he did the thing. Yeah. I'm like, I cannot. If I'm a coach, just off instinct, I'm hitting you with the elbow. Yeah,
it was so frat boyish.
I'm in the middle of being like.
It was so frat boyish. Like it was such like a
let's go, dude.
And like I'm not even like if I was a Raptors fan, I'd probably be all for it because I mean like the whole country of Canada is like just rocking.
Right, and like you know what I mean. Shout out, like they deserve. We don't.
But a little much. He's doing a little much.
Right, he's doing the most.
But wasn't that hilarious? Did you see when Clay and KD were like, K and KD were like, "See you in the Bay, Aubrey."
Yeah,
that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been so that part's been fun for me. But winning wise, I don't know. Maybe I'll go with. I'm gonna
put a drum roll in here.
I want to say Golden State, but it's like that girl ass. Like I just fuck with Steph Curry so hard.
No, I love the Warriors.
I just think he's going for it.
I love the Warriors. I literally have picked them. I've been wrong. I think every game this series.
I just kind of like pick.
I just keep picking the Warriors. I did pick the Raptors in game 1 though. I did say that I think that would happen. So there you go. But so all right, I'm gonna make a call right here. What do you think? Who's winning tonight? Who's winning the series?
Oh.
I mean, there's only been one team to come back from a 3-1 deficit, and it was against the Warriors.
Right, like.
Nobody's gonna hold you to this. This isn't gonna be
right. Like tonight.
I got Warriors tonight. I just keep doing that though. I don't give a shit. I'm just picking them.
I feel like I just want to pick Warriors.
Yeah, no, for
tonight.
sure.
I think tonight Warriors.
I wanted to add to the narrative, to the story,
Series,
to the story of like their dynasty. It'd be like KD came back. Like if they go 7, it's gonna be a crazy story. Cause he's been hurt all series and he comes back.
Comes back and then like
yeah. He's like I'm the savior.
Gamer. Yeah, like the Messiah.
All right. Well, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, we got a nervous bettor over here.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not a good gambler. I gotta hedge it.
That's okay.
I gotta put certain
I have to
amount on
ask.
this, certain amount on this.
I have to ask.
Tonight Warriors.
There we go.
But also like I like to be a more informed better than. Like, to place a bet on a game like now, I'm not informed enough about, like, just generally the season, the series, because...
You're not informed enough. See?
I'm not informed enough, too.
About...
Like, Bulls Nation, first of all, so... I haven't been watching NBA.
I feel you, but I'm an NBA fan.
Yeah, see, right, and I like the NBA, but...
Do you like college basketball more? Do you like March Madness more?
I feel like my life has been so consumed with basketball for so long that, like, now that I'm on this, like, the entertainment acting, it's like my life is more consumed around there.
This is kind of what I was trying to get to when I asked you earlier if you, like, what's your relationship like with basketball after? Because I was curious if you were still really into it, like, on this level.
No, not on the level I used to be. Like, I feel like now my attention is on, like, acting. Like, I'm watching like Dead to Me. Say like Dead to Me.
Dead to Me? I don't even know it.
It's a show. It's a Netflix show. You should watch it. It's pretty good.
That's another hard thing. There's so many shows out.
Christina Applegate.
Oh my God! Wait, no. We actually just watched the preview. We were like, we want to watch it.
Yeah, but like I'm watching that and I'm like, that show's dope because she like performed her ass off. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching.
You're watching different things.
Like I'm watching TV shows now. I'm streaming like a lot of things, and it seems like I'm binge watching and being a couch potato. But it's like I'm studying in the same way that when I was growing up, I used to watch sports all day long. That's all I did. Boom, boom, boom. So I have that.
And you watch them differently.
Yeah, like I was watching it, and like everybody thought like she just likes watching sports, but I'm like when I, 4 or 5, my mom was like I would walk in the room and you would be watching football.
Yeah.
You know, like or whatever, like a game, and just like you'd be like 4. Right. And I'm like, I was probably studying, honestly. Kind of, and like that's what I'm doing now. It's just not with sports. Right. I don't watch it.
Like I guess the analogy would be like, so if I'm watching a basketball game when I was in college and we're learning the playbook or whatever and we're running plays, when I'm watching an NBA or a college game, I actually see like the dude drifting in the corner and I'm like I'm like calling it in my head.
Yeah, like, right.
See the play. Whereas
that was a dope shot, and I'm like, yeah, but that fucking screen he curled off of perfect, or whatever. And
so now you watch film and you can be like, that fucking shot was dope, or her performance.
Yes, that angle, or like that cinematography, like he has like a shadow on his face because it's double, or like I'll literally rewound scenes because I'm like. Because of a specific facial expression I see somebody do during a line that just like interests me, and I'll be awesome. Man,
that's
like
good.
like
that's a good thing as an actor, I think, for sure. Like, I mean, my girl has said it before. Like, I've caught things, the editing thing since I edited my web series and the movie. Like, that thing. First off, editing is shout out to all that film editors because it is just so.
Right, that first movie I'm in is not out because there's so many special effects.
Really?
And like things, yeah.
If you don't really care about the project, editing is death because you're just constantly
you just want to be done so I can see the film.
Like at least these projects I made them myself, so I'm like I want to make them really good. But when you're just editing, but anyways, so I'll notice like I'll be watching a film and I'll notice like his hand is in a different spot than it was.
I do too. I just do that with my mom. Like there's nobody holding the cup of coffee.
Yeah.
That
although I didn't notice the Game of Thrones stuff, I didn't catch that shit.
I didn't catch it either because I'm still on like season 4.
All right. But did you know what I'm talking about though? Like the
yes,
coffee cup
yes, the coffee cup. Yes,
and his hand.
Because that was like a scandal on the.
Yeah, I mean that's funny.
Society.
I just to be completely honest, I watch it and I tend to really watch. Did not notice it. I mean, I'm sure it was there.
Like I would have noticed coffee. That's something I would have noticed.
I would think so.
I would think
so. I want to watch it again though because like I did not. I saw the scene. I was like, what? I didn't see it. But anyways.
That's crazy. That no one caught it on the line of.
Right.
Like no one. Okay, it's one thing real time, but like no one during the editing process noticed it.
I mean, that's exactly what we were saying. Like, or they're just like, "Fuck, we don't know what to." Yeah, like you could brush it off.
I assumed I'm like that had to have been like intentional. Like they just wanted to be like the viewers. Like, guess what, guys? This shit ain't real.
Yeah, right. Or it's some PA, some production assistant who like was like, "No, I wasn't in there. I swear."
The pooch.
But yeah, exactly.
You bad.
Right. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I was looking up
Yeah,
the
wait, shit, what were we
I was
doing?
looking up the spread on the game tonight. Not that it fucking matters, but the Raptors are favored by 1.5. So if you bet on the Warriors, you get 1.5. So Warriors can lose by 1, you can still win money on the Raptors.
Right, like,
That
I
doesn't
don't know
really
what that
change
means.
anything. Yeah.
I don't gamble that much.
Yeah. Neither do I, but I look at this shit. I'm like interested a little bit because Vegas is always so close. Like I'll bet you it's supposed like a 2-point spread. I bet you it's gonna be a close game tonight because they're always close. Doesn't even make sense. Okay, you don't want to talk about the NBA. We're gonna move on. Don't worry. We're gonna go to our last question, which is what we normally do. Oh, you made a sad face on the last question.
Oh no, last one.
I like that.
That's
We're gonna get you back again. You're gonna be.
Right.
This is your second episode. I think Varsity's been on twice. Maybe Austin's been on twice, and Orb has been on twice. So we've had a couple 2-timers, no 3-timers, but we'll make it happen.
Right, I'm being
So the last one, since sometimes we get a little deep, we get a little funny, we get a little whatever. What is your favorite like munchie? Like what? Well, I normally ask like, what's your favorite meal? Like if you had to go to like one last meal, what would it be?
One last meal.
And then I'm gonna also ask you like what would be like your like high munchie or something like that. Like,
right. Like, so last meal, probably some sort of taco. Not some sort. Steak has to be meat.
Steak taco.
Steak taco.
And
Probably. I eat.
From where?
Maybe. Oh, that's a good goal.
Homemade?
Because if it's like last meal, it's like you want to go big. And then there's like, oh, I'm too much of a foodie. Because I'm like, ooh, pasta. I can do some of that. I love specific
You gotta pick one.
type of.
Gotta pick one.
Or like just straight meat. Oh my god. Right? Like
You're just talking about being a vegetarian.
Right? That's the problem. It's so hard for me. Oh man, I'm just gonna because but I've had so many because it's like one meat. I've had so many tacos in my life when I want to do something. No, but then you gotta stick with what you know.
Yeah, I think you gotta go with something that you know you love.
Right, like taco.
Like you're not even trying something for the first thing.
Right, and then you're like, shit.
I think I don't like it.
Yeah. or like I'm allergic.
Right. You could also do like 3 boxes of Lucky Charms cereal. You know, something like that. That's an option.
Right. I'm trying to go. Man, but then pasta. It's a toss-up between pasta and taco. No, I'm going to go with taco. Steak taco, some avocado, probably some sour cream, onion, cilantro.
I think you're the second steak taco answer we got.
Really? Oh, they're so good.
All right, so
I've had it for lunch and dinner in a day before.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I could have probably done
I'm
it for
about
breakfast.
to go make some tacos right now.
Right. I think I'm going to go get some.
So what is, all right, so then if you had like a munchie, like I don't know, like late nights, like 1 a.m., you're going to just have one thing or something like that. What would it be?
Right.
You can yeah, but you can include pizza, you can include mac and cheese, you can include chips, whatever that you want.
And cheese.
I just like literally listed off mine. I'm like,
right, like that's your whole. That's what you. No chips though. Chips. I had one time I had this like it was like guacamole with the jalapeno chips. Ooh. Whatever type of guacamole that was, it like went so good with the jalapeno chips.
I hope for the people who are just listening, if you would have seen her face, her emotion with the chip dip right there, she clearly enjoyed it.
It came from someplace real.
That shit was real.
That was real.
Those avocados were stolen by the cartel and then somehow got back.
Yeah, that was from the heart.
That's real life.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to promote? I know we talked about Quotidian. Anything else?
No, just like myself. Follow me because I'm awesome.
Follow her on IG and all that shit.
Yeah, and all that.
Say your thing. It's okay, Tatiana, but what is it?
Yeah, okay, _Tatiana_1.
Uno. We'll put that up there for you, too.
Pew, pew.
Yeah. It's almost 8 o'clock. This game's about to start.
Shoot. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Thank
you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for listening, and holla. All right. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of The David Lopez Show, presented by Passion Park Entertainment. Shout out to Tatiana Ortiz for coming through. Had a blast talking to her. I'm sure we'll get her back in sooner or later, as she is a friend of the show, friend of me, friend of Passion Park. So keep doing your thing, Tatiana. We appreciate you. We're going to keep an eye out for all your awesome work coming up. Once again, make sure if you want to keep up with Passion Park, go to passionparkent.com. If you want to support us by shopping through any of our affiliate programs that we have, make sure you do that. Go to passionparkent.com. If you hit that More tab, there's Splice, Ticket Club, Fab Hunt, and Diamond CBD all on there, so you can shop all those products. So shout out to those guys for helping us out. And come check me out July 5th at Uncommon Ground in Edgewater on the north side of Chicago. Be rocking out. And stay tuned for more episodes from the David Lopez Show. We will be rocking. With new episodes all summer. Hopefully, I got to plan ahead a little bit as I got some things coming up here with my wedding and shit. I definitely got to record ahead of time to get those out, as I'm gonna be a busy cat. But as always, I appreciate your support. Keep tuning in, subscribe, tell your friends, listen to so much more too. Please, as I put my heart into that project and I put my heart into all this work that I try to give you guys. So enough with the sappy bullshit, and enjoy your weekends. Enjoy everything about what you're doing today. One love, holla.